Hello again, Carmody family. So this is what I'm sending down to provide you with some sort of entertainment. I have a old iPod Classic, like 150 gigabytes, that I haven't been using, and I realized, let me just send that down. And it works beautifully, and I loaded it with a ton of stuff. I have a list that I'll be sending you, but it's a bunch of movies and like hours and hours of songs and audiobooks. Okay, so that's the easiest one to use. I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with iPhones and stuff like that, so you know how to use that. These are the two cheap MP3 players that I bought, and they also, as you can see, play videos as well. There's a list that I'm including that's going to have everything that's on them listed. Okay, and they're touchscreen, so that's good. So you can pause. And what's nice about them is you have headphone jacks for each one of them right here. And you can listen to them like that, or here's the good part. I have a separate wire, which it's in my car right now, but there's a separate wire that will plug in. It has the same jack as this, but it has the same jack on the other end, and it will plug into this device right here. This is an MP3 player, but it's also a speaker. And it's got a little flashy light on it, by the way, which is interesting at night. So it plays a lot of roles. It is a radio, it's a SD card reader, and it's also a USB drive reader. So I originally loaded an SD card for you guys, but then I thought you might have trouble reading it later or putting new things on it. So I decided to put it all on a USB drive and send that down instead. The wire that you'll be taking from the MP3 players, these ones, to here, will plug in right here where it says line in. Hold on, let's see if we can focus that. There you go. So right there, that's where you're going to plug it in. Or if you didn't want to use the speaker for whatever reason, you could plug in where it's got the headphone jack right there. Okay? Sure, you guys can figure that out. You can always ask me questions if you have any. All right, so just a demonstration. Let me just turn that on its side. And I'm just going to hit pause, play. So you can control the volume and fast forwarding. So volume is right down here. Press and hold, and it'll increase the volume. It's really loud. You can also tap those buttons, this one and this one, to fast forward and rewind or go to the next track. This first button right here is for play pause, and this menu button will allow you to choose which format, so radio, USB drive, line in, whichever. So for instance, don't mind my thumb, I sliced it working. So this is radio, and there's a little antenna here. Well, you can pop it up. See what kind of reception you get. Line in, this would be when you're connecting it to these little MP3 players, which 4 gigabytes. Let me just review these. They're pretty simple, but just like with the iPod, you can tap the home button to go back. And let's say I choose music. And you can go by album to get like a playlist of sorts. I tried loading playlists and it didn't work, so I bypassed it by creating albums. So for instance, you can scroll through this, and for instance, this is a book on tape, and you can start playing chapter 1. Simple enough. There's a back button at the top. I find it simpler to just use the home button. So each time you tap it, it goes back a screen. Yeah, play around with it. You should be able to use it pretty simply. And let's go back. Tap video. And just hit directory list for the video. And then you can browse through the options. And then hit play. Alright, should be pretty simple and self-intuitive. So, headphone jacks for each of the two MP3 players. There should be a grand total of 4 MP3 players now. The blue primarily has adult stuff on it, like Lives of the Saints, but more like lengthy movie. This is primarily kids' worship songs, and just general songs, but primarily geared towards more kids. Blue for adults. It's on the list that I'll be giving you guys. Hold on. I just had an alarm go off, don't mind me. Last thing, there is a carry strap for this device, and it goes into the corner right there. You gotta feed it through, and for the life of me, I could not do that. So if one of you guys is better at that than me, I will include it, and that way you have a carry strap. This USB drive only needs to be in there when you're playing from the USB. Otherwise, you just unplug it and you can carry this around in your pocket. Okay? Hope that helps. We'll talk to you soon.